This guy writes this post. I was awkward around her friends when I first met them, and now she hasn't reached out to me at all. She stopped talking to me altogether since I met her friends. Why? If I were to bet, I would say you were awkward around her friends. It's like, yeah, I mean, it's like when she is in a relationship or she's dating or she gets asked out, usually what she'll do is she'll talk to her friends about you. And so like that community is often very important for women to have because they really talk through the problems. That's a lot of ways how they make decisions is they kind of get feedback from other women. Um, and so if you are doing things like being totally awkward or expressing your feelings about her, even on like social media, or expressing your feelings about her to other friends, it's like that is extremely embarrassing to her. And then when she's totally embarrassed, it's like, well, she's going to associate that embarrassment to you. She's going to feel like, well, is he going to embarrass me again? And so she's probably just going to do this similar thing, which is just basically ditch you, dude. So you're not probably in a good position here. Let's check out your post. I feel like such an idiot. I always feel so awkward when I first meet people, but when I get to know them a little bit more, I'm normally fine. Yeah, I wouldn't get attached to like being accepted by them or being liked. So just be careful on approaching a situation with that mentality. Oftentimes that can kind of generate that awkwardness, really just being attached to the result and attached to them to like you, and thinking you have to be somebody or basically put a bunch of pressure on yourself for you to be likable kind of deal. But I guess the first impressions are there to stay. Okay, I'm sure these people thought I was so weird, and now I'm sure she thinks I'm weird too, because why else has she stopped contacting me? I don't know. Yeah, I say that this would be a huge contributor. Just kind of how you're approaching this. You might be a little bit insecure. Maybe you've chased her, pursued her too much. Continuing on, they're church people and they seemed very nice, but then again, who knows? Um, okay, I hate myself so much right now. To be honest, she said that she just wanted to be friends before we actually went out, and we each dude, she already told you that you're trying to be friends. She's trying to be friends. You agreed, and then you're trying to do more. It's like that is completely living in fantasy land here, dude. It's like you can't agree to be in friend zone for one if you have romantic interest, because otherwise it's just going to really cause you a bunch of pain and cause you probably to make mistakes like what you did. You haven't gone into the details, but I'm assuming that it really was directed towards her or, something along those lines. But it's like, don't agree to be in friend zone. And then if you do agree to be friend zone, don't think that you can basically just friend your way up to being in a relationship with her or dating her. It doesn't work that way. It's like oftentimes those guys, they over pursue, try way too hard, and those things just basically further dig them in this pit. Instead, you really just need to walk away. If you don't get it, if she says rejects you or says let's be friends, say, well, I can't really be agreeable to that because I'm really attracted to you. You're amazing, and you list maybe a couple qualities about her, and just like, well, I just really wouldn't be interested in only being friends. So if you change your mind, feel free to reach out, just like that. And so it's like, boom, you walk away. You don't initiate any more contact at all. It's gone. It's like she's dropped off the face of the earth. It's like she is gone. And then once you give her that complete space, it almost gives her that freedom to miss you, shows that you have the ability to walk away. You'll be just fine. You're self-reliant. You can go succeed with somebody else. And it doesn't really bother you that she's gone. It's like, so what kind of attitude? When you have that attitude, then she starts to think about you, wonder about you, then she reaches out. This approach, what he's doing right now, absolutely avoid it. You'll make so many mistakes. You'll make it into a much bigger deal. And what you'll experience is when you're in this friend zone thing trying to raise yourself up, it's like you take things so seriously and you think, oh, that's a sign. That's a sign. When in the reality, she's already communicated that she's not interested in you. And then you're just basically getting into this weird zone as far as your behavior. She would text me. Okay. Wanted to be friends. Yeah. Before we actually went out with each other, but when we did finally go out, she was really cool and we actually hit it off. Dude, you're thinking that you're going to raise her friendship. She's communicated that you wanted to be friends. You agreed to that. You go on a date thinking it's going to be more. No. She would text me every morning telling me good morning, and since Sunday, she texted me and told me thank you for coming. Everyone loved that you were there, and I said thank you. Your friends are very nice people. You're gauging the communication and her texting you every morning as maybe there's a chance. And dude, it's like you've already agreed to be in this friend zone vibe. It's a horrible way to go, and you really just end up like you have at the end result what you're experiencing here, being awkward. Now she's totally gone. She's like, get away from me kind of attitude now. But since then, I haven't heard a word, and I'm so upset about it. Dude, you agree to be friend zone. And when you get upset, it's like you lose your emotional center, your self control. You start acting out, and then also it communicates weakness, and that you're basically not strong enough to keep your cool, keep your emotional center, which communicates you can't really lead the relationship. And so that doesn't communicate masculinity further. It's just stacking these negative things that drop her attraction. She did say in the beginning that she wants a guy. It's like, all change. I can become this if I just change everything about my life. Maybe if I drop this, my religion, and join her religion, then it's like, then she'll like me. If I just please her enough, if I just become the perfect man for her, then she'll like me, and then everything will be happy and perfect. Totally wrong, dude. She doesn't want someone who changes their whole life for her. She wants somebody who owns his own life and, is cool with someone disagreeing with him or someone having a different perspective. And he's just like, this is who I am. And, basically have that self-worth, owning yourself. She wants a guy that has a relationship with God. Oh, there it is. Exactly. And I kind of don't. So he's thinking, oh, now I'm going to get into God and change my beliefs and religion because of this girl that told me that she wants to be friends, and now I'm trying to work my way up to friend zone, and if I just be this enough, then she'll like me. Yeah. Incorrect as far as a results-based approach. It's not going to work. Everyone in church was raising their hands for him, meaning God, and I was kind of just standing there looking dumb. And so now he's attending churches, trying to get in her proximity, trying to further chase, seemingly. Maybe they are a part of the same church and he just doesn't follow it, but it's just like this guy's approach is desperate. So maybe that was it. Who knows? Meaning the God thing that she left him because he's not religious. And dude, if her attraction is high enough, she will be willing to drop her religion. She'll be willing to drop her friends, drop her career, drop everything if her attraction is high enough. I'm not saying you want to basically promote women to do that. But it does happen. It's like women will drop basically everything if they feel that love or attraction strong enough. A little bit of a side note on that one, but it's like this guy's approach. What's he doing? Agreeing to be in friend zone, thinking that it can be more, and then he's reading all her signs of just basically initiating, just kind of being friendly as her interest. Completely incorrect. He's making it into a bigger deal than it is. So now he's acting out or being like weird or awkward around her friends, probably bringing her up. And now what's the result is he's basically trying to analyze this whole thing. Where did I go wrong? And so then he's like blames his external thing because he just doesn't have a clue to why she's not attracted to him anymore. And so he's trying to basically just pull things out of nowhere. Or pull things out of things that she said that she likes, but it's not really what will work. Women sometimes give you like what they want or advice, and then it's actually not in accordance with what they're really attracted to. Be careful on that. So I guess from your perspective as the listener, it's like you can use this. Maybe you're going through a similar situation, or you've gone through this in the past. But you just have to realize that you got to walk away, and you can't be so attached and can't think that you can basically friend your way into a relationship It's much easier to start from basically nothing into a dating relationship versus friend zone into a dating relationship. And so what you want to do is like when she brings this up, so it's like you make your intentions clear, not by telling her your feelings or being all like gooey and stuff. It's like you make your intentions clear by setting a definite date in the evening that communicates kind of a more of like a romantic atmosphere. If she declines, well, you walk away. It's like you state what you want, you present your offer. If she declines, well, you walk away. It's just a negotiation principle. When you walk away, you don't look back. It's like she's gone, you know. There are some exceptions to that. Maybe in like the pickup stage, you might give her like 2 runs at her, basically just like present your offer twice, but after twice, it's like you're gone. And it's not an exception for like birthday or Christmas or holidays. It's like I see a lot of guys do that, like they walk away and then they get nervous because it sometimes can be difficult to walk away from someone, especially if you're starting out on this approach. To just kind of thinking, oh, is she going to be, is she going to reach out yet? Or kind of get a little bit impatient or start to think about the other person more and more. And so they'll use like holidays as an excuse to say, hey, you know, kind of check up with each other. And it breaks your word still. So it's like, don't use those types of things as an exception. It's like you really have to just walk away because that's really what it takes in order to really re-attract her. It's like simple. I do these hand motions all the time, but that's it. You know, it's like you can visualize pretty much the whole negotiation process, managing that space between you and them, just through those hand motions. So it's like if she backs off instead of you pursuing, it's like, well, she doesn't have an opportunity to pursue you. It's like she's blocked. Compared to you pursue, meaning you just set a definite date. You don't want to come across as just totally over pursuing, but just set a date. And then she says no, then you back off. And then what's there? It's that space. And now that space is there. It's like, well, what's going on? She's a little bit unsure. She's a little bit mystery. She's wondering. She's like, what's that guy about? Maybe I was wrong about him. Boom. All of a sudden she messages you. When she messages you, after like some time period, usually almost all the cases, like when she messages you, except for when you have agreed to be friend zone kind of deal, like what this guy did and she was messaging her. But in most contexts, when she messages you, assume that she wants to see you and wants you to be direct, decisive, and make a date. And so when she does reach out, that's when you say, hey, love to see you. When are you free to get together?